Major funding for this program was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
That black smoke come and meet with the dark clouds, you don't know what's a cloud and what's smoke. How can you not help but be in fear? And this is a frightening thing.
Actually, I kind of like to look out at the plant and see all the lights, and if there's a flare going, it brightens everything. I don't think anything bad at all. The flares are really not bad, and people don't seem to understand that. When you see it, it's preventing a mishap that could happen.
New Orleans Refining Company was here prior to 1925. I'm not sure the exact date, and that's what NORCO stands for, New Orleans Refining Company. Well, the one thing we wanted to display was how the community gets along with the industry, and putting them side by side was one of the better ways for us to show that.
Tells you how many minutes it would take for your heart to beat 1,000,000 times. So that's how many minutes, and to get hours, you about 60 into that, right?
Now, my grandfather worked for Shell, and he and my grandmother lived here in Norco, and they raised 7 children, which they all live here in Norco. All but one of my uncles retired from Shell.
I moved down here in 1979 to come work at the Waterford 3 nuclear plant across the river because they were paying really good money mainly, and plus I was good in that field. And I met Vicki, my wife, at Mardi Gras, and she'd already been working in a Shell for several years. I said, well, let's move into Norco because that way she's right next to the plant, and I'm only 20 miles from where I work.
I am a retired school teacher. I grew up in Norco. In the 50s, Shell bought out our neighborhood to build the chemical plant. We moved just east of where we were to the old diamond plantation. Over the years, Shell chemical plant continued to expand until they reached the very edge of our community. Today, the fence line is only 22 feet away from my house. Today, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rejoice, and be glad in Him. These are survey forms we have for that relocation thing to make sure that Shell not going to move anybody from here and they be in debt. Where do you stand on the issue? Do not want to be relocated? Want to be relocated by Shell and wish to negotiate with Shell as a group? Want to be relocated by Shell but wish to negotiate it with Shell on my own? Talk to us as a group.
The whole community.
If you want to negotiate with Shell as a group, do you agree not to start negotiation on your own and not to sign anything?
Well, we're not.
We don't want that. Yeah, there you go.
We find out what's really going on.
Yeah. You coming to the meeting tonight?
Oh yeah.
Well, see you tonight.
Oh,
Give me
okay.
a call if you need a ride.
All right.
Peekaboo, 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 peekaboo.
If you feel like you want to relax or take a nap before we get there, you can push your seat back before we go down to the hospital. So you can get your test and you'll be a champ, right?
Gregory Jackson. We're going in the back and get weighed. Yeah, but not right now. We got to get your height and your weight.
Big breath. Good job. My goodness. How can you breathe? Your nose all stopped up. Good job.
That's what the
You got a sore throat? I'm sorry. The very first thing that you want to do about asthma is avoid your problems. Or avoid your triggers, what we call triggers. And it's a little hard for him to do. Here we have trouble with some environmental things. It's a little harder to get away from. This section of the country, the southeast, we have a high incidence of asthma. A lot of people with asthma. A lot of school days missed because of asthma. Probably 10% of the kids have asthma. 25% to 50% of school days missed are because of asthma.
Hey Gregory, how you doing, man? So you remember these tests? Okay, well, we're going to do them again today.
When you have asthma, you can't breathe. It's a pretty frightening situation. You worry at some level that you might die.
First test we're going to do today is to see how hard you can breathe in. So you remember the one where I tried to stop you from breathing in? You remember that? Okay, well, that's the one we're going to do first, okay? Right here. Big breath in. Big, 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 and blow all the way out. Blow it out. Come on, hard. Big last breath in. Big, big, big. Blow! Blow. Come on, blow, 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 blow. All the way out. Get it out, get it out, get it out. Push out, push out, push out. Very good. You can take your mouth off.
I know many, many, many people in Norco. Can't think of one person who has asthma. Not one. And I'm thinking hard. I'm not saying that, that they don't have it. I know they got a few cases. They got to have. Every community got that. But I don't. I'm not even sure that there's any studies or anything that said those two go together, Well, I must have been standing up. Hey, how you doing, sugar? I've lived here about 70 years, and I worked at Shell for 40 years, and retired from Shell 40 years. Like I told many of people, if I thought this place was unsafe, I would surely not allow my two sons